Hi, the other day I picked up a bunch of SABRE comics at a used place, BMV downtown in Toronto. And let's talk about SABRE. I mean, a lot of people seem to not know anything about this character, and it occupies a special place in history and comics. Um, SABRE was created by Don McGregor and artist Paul Gulacy and published by Eclipse. The first thing was in 1978. There was a graphic novel, and it's one of the first graphic novels to be distributed solely in comic book shops. I know a lot of people debate about whether Saber or Contract with God, which was the Will Eisner graphic novel, should be considered like the first one or whatever. And people point out that Contract with God was a collection of stories, whereas this was one complete piece. It was a creator-owned affair. Don McGregor, created the character. As I said, Paul Gulacy had done all the art. Then, about 4 years later, they put out a series. Now, the series, the first two issues, was a color version of the black and white graphic novel. But starting with issue 3, a new artist was brought on board, Billy Graham. Not the televangelist, but Billy Graham, the Marvel artist who had worked on Luke Cage and Black Panther at Marvel. And so this is some of that series. I didn't get everything, but this was all in a bargain bin there by like 50 cents each. So let's go through these. These are really interesting. Saber takes place in the future, which is not the future anymore, but back in the 80s, 2020 whatever was like, oh my god, the future, what's going to happen? And he's a swashbuckler character. Here's Don McGregor and his son. Now, the initial issues of this comic were printed in the worst paper, and everything looks all kind of muddy as a result. But yeah, this is dated 1982, and prologue September 2020. 2020 was a post-apocalyptic nightmare for other reasons. But anyways, yeah, Saber kind of looks like Jimi Hendrix with his hairband and everything, I guess. His headband. So yeah, Saber fights other mercenaries and everything in the future. All sorts of hijinks ensue. All sorts of other CB characters that he encounters. There's also mutants and stuff that turn up. This guy's a snake man. Pretty cool stuff. Some text blocks here. So this is Eclipse Comics. They do have a lot of house ads. So this is Destroyer Duck, of course, Steve Gerber, Jack Kirby, Alfredo Alcala. That's pretty awesome. And Scythe. Here's the thing about Eclipse, because I have some back issues and stuff, and I would just rummage through old issues and get Eclipse comics. They'd run ads like this. Whether or not these comics come out is a whole other thing. You can see ads for comics like, oh my god, did that come out? And you try to do research and you realize it never did. So that's something to watch out for with Eclipse house ads. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Lots of action and things. Detectives Inc. Pretty neat. Let's look at another issue. This is issue 4. So now the paper is a lot better, and so the art is a lot crisper. Here's women in the comics: Trina Robbins and Kat Norwood. And so this character is pregnant, which will be confirmed in graphic detail in a future issue. I'll get to that. Like this guy, he has a monocle. This is kind of neat. The thing I would say about this is I like Saber as a character. I think it's a really cool idea. He's a mercenary with a heart of gold type of thing in the future. Pretty cool stuff. He looks great. My only thing is that, like, in these comics, he's down for the count a lot. Like, he gets injured, something happens to him. Here's DNA agents, or DNA agents, I should say. On sale monthly. So here's a backup tale, The Incredible Seven. Here's more house ads, John Law, and Mystery. I see a lot of these in, like, dollar bins and stuff. Mystery, thrilling detective adventures. Get it? Mystery? Get it? Incredible Seven. The Incredible Seven have just plain bland names, but here they are in all their glory. Written and drawn by B.C. Boyer. And this has, like, little or nothing to do with the universe of SABRE. And this book, The Art of Steve Ditko, put out by Eclipse Books, is an example of something that was advertised and didn't come out. I'm pretty sure this never came out. 5 reasons why you can't afford to miss Eclipse Monthly. So here is the birth issue. Warning, for those of you who think you were born in a paint can or delivered by the stork. This issue reveals the shocking truth of where you really come from. Don McGregor and Billy Graham. Eclipse Monthly. Pretty neat. So yeah, so she's going to give birth here. And here are these guys are coming to get them. And here's SABRE doing all sorts of weird pantomime. This character's so cool. Yeah, I don't know if there would ever... I mean, there'll never be a movie or anything about this character, or a TV series or anything like that. But it's one of these things where there's a character, right on the table. It's like you can just take this and do something with it. But it is creator-owned. So I don't know where Don McGregor would be with this. But here's a t-shirt. Pretty neat. Melissa Siren, part of the whole universe here of SABRE. Is 2016. Tampa, Florida. It's a backup tale. It's written by Don McGregor, but art by Kent Williams. Pretty neat. More soft-edged type of art here. Pretty good, man. Pretty cool stuff. Crimson Dawn, coming your way, issue 9. We'll get there. That's a cool name for a character. Just imagine Jim Starlin, Neil Adams, Frank Sirocco, and Dave Sim all in one issue. Star Reach Classics. SABRE issue 8, where SABRE gets shot, and he's on the floor bleeding for the entire issue. That's what I mean. Eh? Don't worry, he's on the floor bleeding in the next issue too. This is cool, riding a giant, like, butterfly. That's pretty neat. So here he is. He's trying to save her. This guy keeps shooting guys. And here's the continuation of the backup tale from the previous issue. This is cool. Carlos McGregor, the Californio. Yeah, did this ever come out? I don't know. And here's the last issue I got. This is it, Vindication. I think this is the last Billy Graham issue. I think they go with another artist for issue 10. Here's back issues of SABRE. And here Sabre's about to make his move. And he shoots this guy's hand. It's pretty cool. There's that giant butterfly again. I like the art, and I like the some of the action here. Pretty cool stuff. It's a character I wouldn't mind seeing new installments of. But I think it's long gone. I mean, this is the early 80s, and the character debuted in 78. Here's the t-shirt again. And here's a new backup tale. Hey man, want to hear a story that that's not for little boys? Dun dun. Who's the it's written by Don McGregor, and Mike Hernandez is the illustrator. Alright, and that's Sabre. Sabre, the book and the man. They're still one of a kind. Join Don McGregor in welcoming new artist Jose Ortiz. Beginning in Sabre number 10. So there you go. Wouldn't mind collecting more of these Sabres. This is the world of Sabre. Where else can you meet a cast of characters as wild as these? Oh, this is a wraparound cover, eh? There you go. Pretty neat. So yeah, that's Sabre. I got like a bunch of like cheap comics from a bargain bin. Pretty cool stuff. I hope you like going through these with me. If you like what you saw, please give a like to this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Lots of great comic book stuff on here. So until next time, take care.